Today I am going to be talking about menstrual products, specifically the tax on them. Many of you may pay this tax, some of you most likely not. Menstrual products have been developed over time as women have found new items to prevent getting blood on their clothes. Now, in the country we live in, women are being charged a tax to bleed in a safe and clean manner. This adds up over time and needs to change, specifically the tax. In this speech, I will talk about the problem with feminine hygiene products being taxed, the reason they are, and what can be done to remove this. Truthfully, I hope you all know what a menstrual product is. In short, it is an item that is used to absorb or catch the blood that's released once a month from a woman's uterus. For many individuals, these products are important for that 1 week, because it allows them to continue about their life without trouble. With that said, there are some who can't afford simply the product needed. This is due to not only the high prices in some states, but the taxes on them. The real problem for these products are the tax that has been on them for many years, and it still affects women. Long term, for those who can't afford these products, over time the cost adds up, and the tax does not help. Tampons are taxed on the general sales tax for each state, but are seen as a luxury and not a necessity. Saying it's a luxury brings to mind that many men think women can simply turn their menstrual cycle on and off, and that we don't have to bleed once a month, and that it's an option. It's not. This is wrong because the common woman bleeds 3 to 6 days each month and has no control on stopping the blood. But we can only contain it in a very safe and clean manner by using menstrual products. These products are a necessity. While it already is bad enough the companies are not required to list the items in their products that they use, to tax a product used by women far more than men is it's pretty sexist and has been since it began. It costs women more to buy these items each year and is being taxed for something that is not in their control. As said by Ruth Cooper in the article Bleeding Money, not only is this a sexist tax that unfairly affects only women, but it also singles out low-income women especially. Low-income women often can't afford tampons because food stamps don't cover feminine hygiene products, and when they buy tampons, with what little extra money they have, they are taxed for it as a luxury good. This is unacceptable, honestly. Low-income women who can't afford the proper hygiene products may have to resort to whatever is around, like socks or dirty rags, to absorb their flow and keep the rest of their clothes from getting soiled. Or they will use the tampons and pads that they have for prolonged periods of time, which increases the risk of infection and puts them at risk for toxic shock syndrome. The risk of vaginal and reproductive tract infections may increase during menstruation, which is why feminine hygiene products are so important and necessary for a woman's health and well-being. So here's the reasons behind the tax. So only 45 states have the tax, and the tax ranges from 2.9% to 7.5%, but 31 states as of 2018 are still taxing tampons. Currently, 9 states have exempted the tax, and 5 are working towards abolishing the tax, while 5 states don't have tax at all. Good for them. So leaving 31 states still taxing tampons. Great. To make it clear, there is no specific tax on tampons as there are for alcohol and tobacco in some states. It is more being taxed under the general sales tax. Why I and many other women have a problem with this tampon tax is because the government is taxing women for something completely out of their control. And it's sexist, without even having to think about it. The reason behind the tax is because, like other products taxed, it has qualified for taxation unless said otherwise. Well, for some reason, when women say otherwise, men usually ignore it. And it is 2018, and there's still a tax in 31 states for menstrual products. In 2015, women became more vocal about the tampon tax and finding arguments to why there should not be a tax on an item that is essential to an individual's health. women around the country are still being charged tax costing them around $18,171 in for the 48 years they are spending having a period. So that would be 6.25 years just bleeding. So here's a breakdown of the price. So while there's a variety of brands and styles, there also is a list of other items women include in their expenses, whether to ease pain, side effects, or avoid pregnancy. And also simply buying new underwear. While the cost varies by state and by person on what they personally choose to buy, this bar graph shows the average cost over the woman's lifetime from age 13 to 51. While more information can be found on Huffington Post article, here's how much a woman's period will cost her over a lifetime, written in 2015. Why they are a necessity and not a luxury. They're really not. I think it goes without saying why these women need products, maybe not only a specific type, because there are options. But if you have taken a psychology class, here's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Listed are what they are, and I'm about to explain how I have interpreted having menstrual products specific to this hierarchy of needs. So psychologically, let's go sleeping. Sleeping, it's very difficult to sleep while still on your period due to cramps and also trying hard not to bleed all over your sheets, especially when you have white sheets. Getting blood out is not easy. Safety, let's go with health. So in a healthy way, it allows women to feel comfortable with themselves going to work and school. It is also not getting the blood on other areas that could cause a few diseases, not quite specifically stated, but it can because it is blood. For social, for family. For some women, visiting family can be kind of hard, but also doing it on your period could be a little aggravating due to the emotional roller coaster that is involved with it. So visiting family, it can be kind of awkward, but wearing a tampon or a pad to help at least not get blood on your mom's antique couch, it's pretty good. Self-esteem, confidence. For confidence, it can be toward, you can do anything you want. You can go to work, you can go outside, you're not worried about bleeding everywhere. For some, it's kind of awkward to do that. For some, it's kind of self-empowering. I will never understand that. Self-actualization. This is my favorite. It's achieving your full potential. So even when bleeding with horrible cramps, women can accomplish anything they want and anything they need to do in life without a problem. So truly there are other products that could be taxed a little more. I'm not going to specifically say what, but they are bought equally by men and women. This is a solution for if the government is really worried about losing that extra money they gain just from women on the tampon tax. So listed are a few products also I personally enjoy buying from because there's no problem, there's no hassle, they ship to my door, and I feel more secure buying those products because what is listed in them is listed. It's more healthy for my body and I'm not putting anything that could possibly do me harm. To conclude, as years pass and women continue to bleed and also fight for the tampon tax to be cut in the 31 states left, there will always be the same arguments and women choosing to use products or free bleed. The government has options. I look forward to hearing what they do.